Welcome back to Popgoes Revisited. Third night. Let's get a call from my favorite guy. Remember the colors? Call the Badger. Oh, there he is.
Right. Hello
Hey,
again.
Fritz.
I think I should start off this call by pointing out that I actually made a mistake in my previous message, which was yesterday's main recording for you. I said that the heaters in the vents stayed on for a minute when you turned them on. In reality, I made it closer to like 9 seconds or something. So,
But why?
Sorry about that. Not a huge mistake, but I should own up to it anyway. It's one of the only things I haven't got written down. I should actually make a note of it now, I suppose. I'm kind of tired right now. I've been doing all these calls in one take, so I've just noticed.
You're good, man. You're good.
Such a huge difference, too. 1 minute should be 10 seconds. Jeez, I'm an idiot sometimes. Hey, now that you've been here for 2 nights, correct? Beginning your 3rd one now, yes? Tell me, what do you think about the place?
It's awesome.
Pizzeria, I mean. It's real special. Let me tell you, during the day you can really feel it. The fantasy, the fun, and the safety, you know? Kids can run down the halls and be greeted by the characters. They gather around and sing with them on the stage. They build and print out these figurines like posable toys. And of course they get to paint them, coat them in a binding agent, etc. It makes them feel grown up. It makes them feel special, you know? I remember this kid one day. Totally heartwarming. There was this kid. He was running around and somehow managed to open one of the locked rooms. The server room, I think it was. And he started messing around in there. Well, I was in my office, like always, and I see this kid on the camera. I start to get a little worried. Here we go again, I'm saying to myself. And I was about to go get him sorted out myself, but right then, as I'm taking my jacket off, Blake, that badger character to your left, gets in the room with the kid and starts to play a little game using the server room's monitor. Have you know the game Simon Says?
Yeah?
Well, it was like that. He just turned it. Hold on now. I'll sort the rest out later. I'll leave this message here. The option should be up for you now. Sorry about this. Yes, the story. Sorry about before, I had to take care of something. Well, I don't exactly remember where I left off, but the kid ended up liking Blake quite a lot. The rest of the day he just kept pressing his call button, the yellow one to the left of the monitors, to get him to come closer and play their game. It's moments like those that can make you smile, you know? Getting to use these characters to make people as happy as they've made me, it's really something. At least, I hope you feel the same way. I know you aren't here during the day, so I suppose you'll have to take my word for it when I say it's great. And the kid I mentioned has been a loyal customer since, though I don't really like using that word. See you tomorrow. Oh, you don't know what that game is? That's alright, no matter. For a quick explanation, it's a game where someone shows you a colour, like, green, yellow, red, and you have to repeat the same colour back to them. Sometimes there are multiple colours which you need to repeat in the same order back. But in the case of Blake and the boy, who was quite young, it was only one. Sorry if that wasn't that good of an explanation, but it's just a kid's game, nothing more. During the day you can play it on one of the monitors here with that panel in front of you. A bit more complicated than just a colour appearing on a screen, but, same concept. They use the phone for that too. That's children's stuff though. Don't let me down with you playing games during your shift. Speaking of work, you should get back to it. See you tomorrow. Nothing major really, my brother was just asking me who I was talking to. I've told you about him, right? The order of these calls might be a bit confusing later, depends on how I organise them. Right, speaking of the order, I think I'll also leave an option to finish off that story I was telling you about. And this one should be to explain why I left, just so you don't get suspicious that I'm hiding anything from you. As I said on the first night, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible with my business here, So covering stuff up for my employees obviously wouldn't do. Right, I think that's it for tonight. Good luck on your shift.
See ya, Fritz. God damn it, he got a part. Alright. Sorry for not talking. It's just that with this game, my senses are tuned so well that I got everything down. Well, time to badger that badger. Hey, Blake. It's okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna panic. Pop goes the weasel. This is the right way. Nope. No, you are not the one. Nope, not the way either. This might be it. Yep, this is it. Beak in the bib. We saw the cupcake too. Fourth night. Red eyes. I'm seeing things.
Hello again.
Hey, Simon.
I've decided to take some breaks between recording these calls. Not many are left, but still, I didn't think it would be this stressful. I've just got some notes, not a script or anything. I feel like I might be talking too much about things that are obvious for you, so I'm just going to wing this one.
I don't mind
I think
hearing
at
your
this
voice.
point you must be pretty confident with your job now, if you can even call it that. I think now might be a good time for you to know a little more about me. I have a feeling that you might be curious, am I wrong?
No.
Right then. I was born in November 1968 in Texas, lived a fine life up until my teens, had no real problems with my family, but we weren't exactly rich. My father was an architect at the time, and my mother stayed home with my brother and I. Until the 80s, we lived in a flat, or I suppose it would have been called an apartment over there. It was pretty decent, I think, but honestly, I can't remember much. I had an accident in my teens, stuff I really don't want to talk about. Please don't ask. Might explain in a later call or something if there is time. Anyway, fortunately, I survived the injury, believe it or not. It was all down to a very generous donor of blood. The whole thing was pretty strange and vague for us, and all I know is a small team of people, or maybe it was one person, was willing to give tons of blood to the hospital, and after an entire encyclopedia of signed papers, the transfusion was allowed on behalf of the procedure being an experiment. I was close to death, bear in mind. I lost most of my memory from before the incident, and the whole event caused a huge stir in the media. I was 18, and with the state I was in, paparazzi wasn't the best treatment.
Fair enough.
So I sorted out something with my parents, and we moved here to England. So, hopefully on top of being a security guard, you can be a friend too. I wanted to get some of these stories off my chest for a while. I don't have many people to share them with. And my daughter's kind of busy most of the time. Just someone for me to talk to. And of course, listen to, so go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
How can you afford all
So
this?
this place looks significantly expensive to run, I'm sure. Especially for one person, right? Well, it is. Thousands of pounds put in and out of this place every day. It's still a little independent cafe kind of thing, but the technology does make it seem professional, I suppose. Money isn't really an issue for me anymore. I've sold stuff before the pizzeria was open, mainly based around robotics, machinery, whatnot. And of course the pizzeria itself brings in a significant amount of cash to put back into ingredients, electricity, materials for the printers, etc. As I mentioned earlier, Popgoes does most of the work, so I don't need to hire a cleaner or a chef. I also got a decent amount of money from the injury I mentioned. I can't remember how that worked, but I'd rather avoid mentioning it in case it was a mistake and they wanted it back. Anyway, I hope that
Fair
clears it up.
enough.
Good question. See you tomorrow.
See ya, Fritz.
What else have I made? Well, this recording system has over 5 hours left on it, but I still don't think that's enough time to cover everything I've made. It's been a hell of a good hobby for over a decade now. I'll try to go over some of the more interesting things, though. In 2019, I made a self-driving car in my garage. The technology isn't that impressive nowadays, I know, but it was an amazing feat. Looked like garbage, but it worked. Since then, it's been modified to be road safe, and now my daughter uses it. Back in the late 90s, I made a few electric guitars, sold them to a secondary school, and in 2016, I made a video game with Bonnie's help. Oh, Bonnie's the name of my daughter, I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Oh yeah, and of course I made the 3D printers recently, which helped me print smaller plastic parts for projects and toys and whatnot. That's really it, don't think I should mention anything else right now. Hope that clears it up. I've been a real busy guy, love creating things. See you on your 5th night. Ah, nice. I like answering this question. Although my daughter's the only one who actually asked, or has even been given the opportunity to. I'll let you in on a secret. Not a big one, but I think it might be interesting to an outsider. The characters that you see around here weren't originally going to be for a pizzeria. Crazy, right? They're colourful cartoon animals with pink guitars, yellow eyes. Well, it's true. They originally had a totally different purpose. I get nightmares pretty easily. Stupid stuff, like going to the zoo or standing on a tall building. I'll go to sleep that night and wake up in a cold sweat from a nightmare about a creepy porcelain doll. It's ridiculous. Anyway, not a lot of medication can help with that kind of thing, so for a few months I tried a psychic route, like mystic, almost religious kind of solution. It was recommended by a friend I've spoken to online, and it worked, but only once. The idea was that if I designed and created a scarecrow kind of ornament that was entirely designed to fight what I was having nightmares of, then it would appear in those nightmares and destroy, in a sense, the fear from its core. So, for example, if I had a nightmare of falling from a great height, then making a model of a trampoline in the real world might help get rid of that fear in the nightmare world, do you understand? Anyway, I ended up making a load of these scarecrow designs with only one of them actually working. At that time, I heard about this auction thing going on in America, travelled over there, ended up buying some things, one of which was a hat that used to belong to a famous pizzeria character, which caused a bit of controversy in the area. I bought the remains of an old busted robot, based the gang around it, and a box filled with the parts. I have them here in the attic. Anyways, from there I thought to myself, what if I started my own pizzeria and changed the remaining scarecrows into cartoon animatronics? And well, I did. Of course, since they're garden animals and not actually designed to fight my fears, they never really helped get rid of my remaining nightmares. So I still have them. The old scarecrow designs were scrapped. Can't remember what I did with them. Quite a backstory, huh? Hope it was interesting. See you tomorrow.
Damn it. Got it. Popgoes the weasel. Back here again. What the? The mangle.